Coach Teeden, we're back, man. How you doing?
We're good, man. We're in the thick of it now. We're dropping episodes weekly now, so I feel like we're getting a groove, and we got a good one tonight, man. Coach Blackburn let me know early scheduling, hey, we're gonna have a tough schedule. I really didn't understand what he meant until we opened up with Langston, and then 4 games later we had Ave on the schedule, and I realized, man, we do have a tough schedule. So I'm excited about tonight, man.
Yeah, man. We have Coach Copeland from Ave Maria down in the, let's say, Fort Myers area. And man, if y'all ever get a chance to hop online and look at their statistics and different things like that, it'll blow your mind. Coach, thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, Coach, can you talk about your season, man? You guys were, before we get going, 30-5, had an amazing run. You guys were regular season champs in the Sun Conference. You guys were tournament champs, and then you made an amazing run, made the Final Four. But can you talk about the season for a little bit and just give a little recap and just that run, and we'll dive into some other stuff, but just fill us in about the season.
Yeah, incredible year. We're still heartbroken with that Langston loss, but man, just super grateful for the year and more importantly, just the relationships. We have a unique situation here at Ave Maria. We get a lot of guys and we retain really well. Like we feel to win here, we have to retain and develop. We can't just out recruit different programs. And man, we had a special group. We had 4 senior guards that were kind of our catalysts for us. And 2 of them were with us 4 years and 2 of them with us 3 years. And just the relationships through athletics you get, but especially through time, you go through a lot of really good times and really hard times. That just kind of forges those bonds. And our motto all year was, man, just 40 more minutes. Lord, just bless us with 40 more minutes together. And we were fortunate late in the year. We just that was our motto. We were breaking out with everything, 40 more minutes, and we kept that thing going a long time. A game shorter than we wanted, but it was a heck of a run.
No doubt.
That's pretty cool, man. I love hearing that 40 more minutes and the miles you go through with your players and their ups and downs and all those things. It's remarkable. And then to finish it and go as far as you did this year. But let's go ahead and start with the title question, Coach. How are you wired?
Yeah, I think I'm a routine guy. I'm a habits guy. And I'm at my best when I get my spiritual disciplines in every day, my spiritual habits. And I'm also at my best when I get my physical disciplines every day. I love to work out and train. And then I think, as a leader, a lot of times you neglect yourself because you're so busy serving. But what I've found is I'm still consider myself a young coach, but at 45, I'm not really that young anymore. Well, kind of what I've found is, man, I've got to be at my best to lead and to serve at my best. So every day I'm going to make sure that I kind of cross those buckets off for me, which is got to get a sweat in. And then I've got to get my prayers and my spiritual life in. If I do that, that's kind of how I'm wired. I'm wired at my best when I do those 2 things.
I love that answer. Coaches, sometimes we get so caught up in serving others, we forget to take care of ourselves. And when we're not at our best, we can't be at our best for others. So that's a great answer. Coach, talk about Ave Maria, just the university. It's a little different. And, talk about how that community kind of helps also build who you are.
Yeah. So we're definitely a niche university. That's what everybody's like, man, are you on the road all the time recruiting? I'm married with 5 kids, and this isn't, you talk about fit for players, right? Don't chase the level, chase the fit, because that's where you're gonna be your happiest. And it's the same for coaches. I've coached at every level, Division I, Division II, NAI, Division III, junior college, high school. And this place fits me. I have 5 kids and I guess I could be on the road all the time. I don't want to be. And here, 3-5 academically, got to be willing to be in a Jesus-centered environment. We're a Royal campus, 15,000 people, 1,400 students. It's phenomenal. And Billy, our home games, we draw incredible. It's probably the best game day environment in the Southeast. But it's not for everybody, man. It's a niche school. So yeah, it's a special place, and that's kind of what makes it special. We're fishing from a really small pond, but if we can find those fish in that really small pond, it's a really easy sell for us. But it's to find those fish is really hard. But I love it, man. It fits me. It kind of fits. I get to ride my bike to work every day. I live a mile from the gym. My kids ride their bikes up here. They're at practice. My wife's around all the time. It's just it's an awesome environment for me and my family, and for our guys. Like, our guys absolutely love it. I think that's one of the reasons we retain so well. And a lot of them, it's culture shock when they're coming. They're like, the first couple of weeks, man, I don't know about this place, but within a month, they're just they love it and they want to stay here after they graduate. It's the community, small town, so everybody's behind us and supporting it. You're definitely a big fish in a small pond. As we were making our run this year to the Fab Four, like, all my buddies in town are texting me like, hey, the pub, which is the Irish pub in town, they're like, it's popping. And they were sending me pictures. There was probably 300 people there. It was on every TV at the sports bar in town, and people are going crazy. They had our gym. We had 1,000 students in our gym on big screens. Lito's Pizza in town had another watch party. It's a cool spot because you get everybody behind you.
Joe, when we played there this year, we came on the night where they had their Christmas parade. So, we had to navigate, and we weren't on time. I think we showed up like 25 minutes on the clock, and then they had the student section. Everybody was in snow gear and Santa hats, and it was in a wild environment. Something that took me by shock for sure. But
I've never heard that one. I've never heard a team running behind because of a Christmas parade, but that's
yeah. We had to get escorted around, like the GPS wasn't working. It was we literally showed up with 25 minutes on the clock.
That's a big deal. We have a lot of like parades and festivals, and like I was calling a coach the whole time. I was like, hey man, I'll talk your bus driver through it, because these they're big deals. Like, cut off, it feels like every road in town. People come from all over Southwest Florida, so it's a big deal.
All right, Coach, I got to get into this. Now we'll get into your fishing for in that small pond, but the style of play. So as I was looking back, 2022, 2023, your teams are averaging 79 points a game. In 23, 24, there was this just substantial jump. Like, now you're up in the 90s. Obviously it's been successful, but why the change? What caused it?
Yeah, so that year, that 22-23 year, that was a rough year for. We started off 12-3, and then our two best players went down with season-ending injuries versus Kaiser, and they were also our two most skilled guys. And from that point on, we lost 8 straight games. We finished 14-14, and I was just dead set, like, man, come hell or high water, I'm recruiting skill. And we're high academic, so like a lot of times a high academic, you can get skill. It's hard to find great athletes and great size, but man, we can get skill guys, and we really put that as a focus. We want to recruit skill guys that can dribble, pass, and shoot, have IQ. And then we want to play ahead of the defense. Everybody's well coached, as you guys know. And when you play against a set D, it's really hard to score. So we want to play ahead of the D. And we went to that in the past 3 years. We were second in the country in scoring. That year you're talking about, we kind of flipped it. The next year led the country in scoring, and this year second in the country in scoring. And we want to get out and play with pace, and we want to play free flowing. And our whole motto is make a play for others. And we just keep it really simple. We're going to go to our screening action, whether that's our split action, our pin action, one to the rim, one to the three. And you're going to, when you catch it, shoot it, drive it, or move it. See space, attack it. No space, move it. It's one-on-one, hand to the rim, go finish. It's one-on-one, you engage the second, you got to come off it. Obviously, a lot of concepts, and we break it down a ton on film and in practice, but that's essentially it. And we're trying to get our guys super aggressive every time they catching a shot ready. And the defense will tell you when you're not going to shoot it, right? Like, they're up on you and they're pressed up, hand above the ball. Then now they're telling you got to move it or drive it. And we're not going to hold it in Carmelo and, and jab step you to death and let the defense shrink. We're going to try to keep you in rotation and keep those great athletes that our league has, keep them strung out and chasing us. And we went with it, and I love it. And the guys, like, I just finished exit meetings today, and that's what they're like, Coach, please never change our style. It's so much fun. So, and a big part for me is, like, we got to retain and develop. And I can't retain if I'm losing dudes and if dudes aren't having fun. then it is what it is, right? Like, so we're going to play a style that's fun and that they enjoy and think our fans enjoy. And it's fun coaching that way too. You don't have to joystick them. You give them a lot of freedom, but with freedom comes responsibility.
Yeah, no
I'll
doubt.
tell
I
you.
mean, when you're concept, go ahead, Joe.
No, I was just if our listeners, they might need to rewind 30 seconds because that whole breakdown of the offense was like in a 10-second amazing coaching clinic.
That's
So,
that's how
all
it
right,
feels when
show's
you play
over.
them too.
Show's over. We got what we need. Show's over. We got what we
But Joe,
need.
that's
Okay.
how it feels when you play him as well. Like it's very constant. I mean, when you scout, it's like, okay, guys, this is what they do. They're going to make the right decisions. Okay, we just got to be solid for the 15 seconds that they have the ball. But coach, you talk about your concepts offensively, and you talk about you drill that or you have an idea of what you're trying to do. How are you assessing that throughout the season? Like, what are you finding actions that you're more successful with? Are you leaning there? Like, how are you assessing those concepts?
Yeah, great question. So for us, the first thing, right, the biggest compliment I've ever got as a coach is we played an opponent, and he's like, "Coach, watching you guys on film, I thought I was watching the game in 1.5 speed." I was like, "Ding, ding, that's perfect." So the main thing for us is pace, pace, pace. Everything we do is shot clock. Everything we do is we're trying to speed up their decisions and their ability to make plays. So that's number one, right? Like, if obviously perfect scenario, we're coming together at a screening action and then we're going to make the right read. But even before that, I just want us coming together with pace and getting apart in pace. Like once we come together, one of the rim, one of the three, but we got to get there with pace and we got to get out of there with pace. So that's number one when we're teaching this thing is we're just constantly harping pace, pace, pace. So the first thing, and I got ahead of myself a little bit. The first thing we teach is spacing, obviously. Offensive spacing. Spacing is offense. We're going to teach our spacing principles, but then after that, it's pace. It's the pace you got to cut with, the pace you got to get out of screens with, get into screens with. And then we're teaching that through film. Like we're watching film every single day of practice and really, really going to those concepts in film. Because when we go in practice, like we've never practiced more than an hour and a half ever.
Mhm.
Like, and a lot of days it's 50 minutes we're in there because we're trying to keep them moving, high pace, really, really efficient. But where we can, and my personality, I can't really slow down. It drives me crazy. So, but I can slow down in the film room. So we'll pre-practice every day, 15 minutes. That's where I really teach, slow down. Hey, Jay, what were you thinking? Coach, I wanted to give Jack space. So I went to a ghost action. Hey, love that. Or Jay, what were you thinking? Well, I wanted to bring my man to the ball. Why did you want to bring your man to the ball? Jack has an advantage there. That's a space decision, not a help decision. So just talking it out, and it's rough early and it doesn't look good early, and then late we typically play really well. You talked about the back-to-back Sun Conference championships, and because you can't really scout us, it's hard to scout us because we're so concept driven, but it is ugly, and you have to be okay in chaos as a coach and okay with maybe people in the stands going, what in the world are they trying to do? Because you might have guys banging their heads as they're coming together, or two guys cutting to the rim and the spacing sucks. But later on, as they get it in that conversation through film, it's them telling me later on in the year. Early it's me, hey, spacing, we got to get to the corner there, or in the dunker, we need your heels to the baseline, whatever it may be. But then later on, hey, Jack, what were you thinking? And then a lot of times Jack is going to give me an answer that I like, and I'm like, I love that answer, and that's correct. As long as they're thinking the game and trying to make the right play, trying to make a play for others. Does the ball need space or does the ball need help? And yeah, and that's kind of how it works. So there's no magic to it. It's just ever evolving. We're just gonna hammer it all year, little by little, and that's kind of it.
The
So
unique
you
thing about your
mentioned,
team offensively. Go ahead, Joe.
nope, carry on.
I was going to say one of the unique things about you guys offensively is that you would think you score a bunch of points, you shoot a lot of threes, but that's not the case for you guys. You had a unique ability to get to the rim. What was that part of your concepts of, you mentioned it a couple times, making sure there was a rim runner, someone at the rim and someone at the space. And then you had it with the ability to Aklekas, who had the ability to take a smaller guard on a switch and post them up. How did you get to those concepts to get those paint touches for you guys?
Yeah, so we look at our team every year, just personnel wise. What do we have? And like here, I've never had a back to the basket post, but I love post ups. And so, man, how do we get a post up when we don't have a back to the basket guy per se? We want to throw the ball down to, and it's like, man, Mike Cleek is his older brother. I had Eric was even shorter than Mike. Mike was a 6'2" monster in the post, All American, second team All American. His brother Eric was a 6'2" guard, but like they're coaches' kids and they just have unbelievable back to the basket game. So, all right, how do we get them down there? All right, we can traditionally post them up, right? We might have to clear a side and go to a Barkley to get them in there. We might have to go a ghost action and burn the ghost and turn back and get them in there. And so, yeah, just looking at our personnel and like, how do we get our best players in the spots where they're really good at, and then just kind of being creative with that. And then just emphasis, right? We're like everybody in the country, we're trying to get hand to the backboard, hand to the rim layups or inside out threes. And that's our goal, and trying to stay away from mid range as much as we can, and just trying to brainwash and manipulate our guys with that as well. And just the beauty of shot selection. And then once it goes up, we're sending 5 a lot of times to the glass, and I'll back off later in the year and send 4. But yeah, we're trying to win the possession battle and win the shot selection battle. And I think that is basketball. If you simplify basketball, what wins games? Probably if you were to tell me what's the number one thing, I would lean on the possession battle. And then number 2, I'd say shot selection battle, right? If I can get higher quality shots than you, I'm gonna beat you most of the time, and more possessions. And if you get more possessions and higher quality shots than me, you're gonna beat me. And it's that simple. And we try to live in simplicity here.
I heard somebody say before, I don't remember who it was, maybe it was UConn Danny Hurley, how they send everybody to the glass. And everybody said, well, your transition defense got to be terrible. Well, he goes, we're number one in the country in transition defense because they can't leak anybody out because we'll get the offensive rebound because we send 5. So I love doing that. Now that we played a team a few years back that dropped everyone back, all 5 of them. Sometimes it's crossed my mind to do that because of the success that we're having on the offensive glass. But I love hearing that. So, Coach, I wanted to ask a little bit about the relationships that you have with your players. You just talked about exit meetings and different things like that. We are in a microwave society, but you also are doing a great job retaining your kids. How would you say you build those relationships? How often are you meeting with them one-on-one? Is it just everyday talk? Give us some insight on that.
Yeah, so I'm obviously very busy and type A with my family, and I teach here as well, strength coach here as well. So very, very busy, but very intentional. So we have small groups over at my house once a week. So say a team of 12, we'll break that up into 4 groups of 3, and then every week we'll rotate 3 guys. Will be at my house, 3 guys at my assistant's house, and we kind of rotate that because we do team dinners like everybody else in the country. But those are not that they're shallow, but it's just hard to have any in-depth conversation with those team dinners when you have 20 total people over there. It's kind of mass chaos, and it's a little bit harder. But when you get 3 or 4 guys at your house, it's a lot easier just to have more authentic conversations and conversations with depth. So we'll do that. We do a lot of stuff off the floor. We play pickleball there. Like, I talked about our community. Like, there's 12 pickleball courts about a half mile from the gym as well. We'll play pickleball with the guys. Um, yeah, the guys come to the house all the time. Like, I mean, we're just always trying to find little ways to get touches with them off the practice court. And then the beauty of NAI too, you get a lot of time with your guys. You get 24 weeks throughout the year, which is beautiful. So that's sweat equity you get with them, which is awesome. We're with our guys in the weight room every day as well. So yeah, we're just trying to get touches. And another beautiful thing about a small campus, 1,400 students, like you run into them at the calf. I'm riding my bike through campus to go teach class, and I'll see 3 or 4 of them to stop and have a 2-minute conversation. So the non-intentional bumps are awesome because you get those all the time, and that's the beauty of the small college. But then also you have to have some intentional bumps as well, where you're playing pickleball or you're having them to the house, things like that, because it is, I think, the old adage that everybody says is just so true. You know, if they know your care factor for them is really, really high, man, they'll forgive a lot of stupid stuff you do. I'm the dumbest coach in the country a lot, you know, and I'm a I'm a hothead a lot. And man, if they know you really care about them and you'll help them, you'll do anything for them. They'll forgive a lot of those dumb things you do as a coach that we all do because we're
I
human.
love that answer. I love the small groups, taking, 3 or 4 guys and bringing them together. Do you like are you intentional with those groups? Do you switch guys up?
Yeah, so a lot of times what we'll do is we'll do it per semester, and then we'll make sure, like, we'll try to say, all right, we got to have a freshman and a senior, and nobody can be roommates that's in that group, and we'll just try to intentionally get them with guys that maybe they don't haven't spent as much time with, you know, because your guys that have been there, like my 4 captains this year, those guys I talked about, like those guys don't need to spend any more time together. They've been through
Right.
wars together. Like we got to get them with people that they don't know as well, and yeah, we're very intentional about that.
I love that. I love that answer. Coach, I know the season just ended. The season was extended for you. And then the national tournament is such a cool thing in NAIA and how everybody comes in, after, the Sweet 16 and you go in there and you're playing. How many games did you play in 5 days, Coach? Did you play?
Yeah, well, so we went to first and second round. We were in Wichita at Friends
Right.
University, and then we had to stay because we finished late Saturday night, and you got to report to Kansas City on Tuesday. So Sunday we just drove to Kansas City, and
Right.
then yeah, if you're in the national championship, you will play. Like we played Friday in the Sweet 16, Saturday in the Elite Eight, and then Monday in the Fab Four, and then the championship would have been Tuesday. So it'd be 4 games in 5 days. To win that thing, you got to be built with depth,
Yep.
no doubt. Like Freed Hardman, who's won 2 of the past 3, like he's 5 in, 5 out the whole game. And I think there's a lot of wisdom there. He's doing that because of March, you know, because he's trying to win it late. And he knows like you can't place like we were late in the year, you can't play 7 dudes and give your guys a realistic chance. They're running on fumes, 4 games in 5 days, playing 7 guys. But that's something I hope I have the depth to be able to do that. I don't know if I ever will, but I'd love to be able to go 5 in, 5 out, and kind of platoon sub like he does.
Yeah.
I think just the advantage late in the season is incredible.
Very unique national tournament. Love it. But once the season ends, can you explain you mentioned the exit meetings and things. Can you explain how your season wraps up and what you're looking towards, the next steps for Ave?
Yeah, great question. So we took this week off. Like we finished today's Tuesday. So about a week ago, Monday night was our last game. Flew back on Tuesday. And then we took that week off. And then we're gonna take this week off, which is Easter week. And then we'll start weights up and off season next Tuesday. NAI rules, you get 24 weeks. So we've used 22. So I have 2 weeks left that I can use, and I'm gonna use those starting that week after Easter, and we'll go 2 weeks, and then after that it'll be just strength conditioning. But as a coach, that's really important. But even more important, like right now, my whole brain, everything's recruiting because we lost 7 seniors, and 5 of our top 7 guys in our rotation were seniors, and we've signed a couple guys, but they're not like going to be top 5, you know, in our rotation guys, most likely not. So yeah, my whole brain right now is recruiting, and getting guys that can be impact guys right away.
All right. What's funny is my next question says recruiting.
Yeah.
So, and Billy and I have talked about this, and I talk about it almost all the time because now our season's over and everybody's running to go to their travel teams and everyone's promising exposure. Everyone's promising all the things. And I used to be a guy that said, yeah, you got to play travel ball. You got to. Like it's the only way. They're not coming to high school games for the most part unless you're in a big event that they can see multiple players because finance it. Okay, so now I'm starting to change my mindset because or I just think there's a shift because and that's, I guess, going to brainstorm. Maybe you can help me out there. So I don't think they're doing themselves a service playing travel ball. I think a lot of it is they need to almost lift weights with their high school team and do stuff with their high schools. And I guess maybe play some travel ball, just not traveling all over God's green earth. So what say you on your recruiting philosophy in terms of me advising my kids what right now is best because of all the things that are going on in the world?
Yeah, man, that's a phenomenal question. I don't think there's a necessarily a right or wrong answer, but I think there is a better answer for every kid depending on where they're at, right? Like if you are a 4-star or a 5-star kid, you will 100% get guys coming to your games at travel ball because you're going to be on the 3SSB circuit, the EYBL circuit, the UAA circuit, and 100% college coaches are coming to that and you're going to get seen. If you're more a guy that's scratching a claw and trying to play in college and you're going all over the country, like you hit it on the head, like Division twos, NAIs, Division threes, junior colleges, we have limited time and resources, limited staffs. We might have 2 people on our staff, 3 people on our staff. We just don't have the, like for me, for example, if I go to Atlanta, I've got to rent a car, I've got to pay for gas, I got to get a hotel, I got to get food, I got to buy the $300 packet. That's going to be $1,000 for me, probably at a minimum out of my budget, plus 3 or 4 days that I'm not with my team, which now small staffs, who's with my team in the weight room? If we're in our 2 weeks postseason, we get NAI, who's with them on the court? Who's checking on them academically, who's continuing to develop relationships with them. So I'm away for 4 days. And also in those 4 days, you really can't call or text kids that well because you're in a noisy gym. So now I'm missing out on my touches with recruits. I don't think that's the most effective way. I don't think for me, I'm convinced of that. We beat up the phones. And that's how we recruit is by beating up the phones and then getting kids to come to us. So I think if you're not a high profile kid, and there are some travel teams like my kids play for Southeast Elite. They do an incredible job. There are a lot of them that do an incredible job. And like anything, right, there are some that don't do as good of a job. And I think a lot of it depends on that. But then if you're scratching and clawing trying to get a roster spot, like you got to recruit yourself. Like that's what everybody says. What are you recruiting? I'm like, I recruit everything. Like you look at my roster because of our stipulations. Like I've got guys from off this year's roster from Texas, from Nevada, from Ohio, from Illinois, from Indiana, from Massachusetts, from Nevada, from Texas, from Florida, from Pennsylvania. I mean, everywhere because I have to, right? So, but those dudes, they got to help themselves as well. Like they got to, if I get on the phone and I say, hey, Billy, man, I'm telling him about it. Like, I'd love for you to come play in front of me. I can't fly to you. I don't have the resources to come fly to you. I need you to come play with our guys. And Billy gets on a flight and comes and plays with our guys. He's got a leg up over anybody playing in an event in Atlanta or Nashville or Indianapolis or wherever, because now he's saving me time and resources. I can bring 3, 4, 5 guys in and evaluate them against my guys, college guys. And I go to a travel event, they might not play any defense. They might not be competing. They might not have college bodies, college skill set, college IQ. And yeah, no, I agree 100%. Like I've told, um, yeah, anytime I talk to high school kids, I'm like, hey, if you're not a top level dude, you better be recruiting the heck out of yourself. And get on college campuses as much as you can. Ask your high school coach, your travel ball coach, hey, what is a legit level for me? Not a level I can make a roster, right? Like that's bullcrap. Coach, I have a guy that can play for you. Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of guys that sit on my bench, but like I need a guy that can impact winning. That can impact winning. Is he a guy? And I love that too. Like, coach, man, he can play for you at your level. It's like, have you ever watched a game? Like, have you ever watched us play? Like, they got to be a dude to help us win a game. Like, so yeah, you got me on a soapbox. Yeah, they got to get on
Keep going.
campus and they've got to sell themselves because it's hard, man. It's freaking hard to get a roster spot in college right now. Really, really hard. And
So what can I do, coach? Like here, let me give my game plan. So my
yep,
game plan, I got 3 real good juniors. I don't know what level. I really
yep.
don't. And I ask Billy all the time and he says, I don't know the level either, but that just means he doesn't want them.
No, here's the thing. Before you go on your question, Joe, and Jamon's right. And I learned, I got thrown into the fire this year. Like elite, these teams that are really good. I mean, we got to see Ave in person. We got to see Langston in person. I mean, these guys are dudes. I mean, they're really stinking good. And the coach is right. We get those emails all the time. like, they're relentless with it. "Hey, he could play for," but do you really know what that means? Like, I don't think they fully grasp that, and I was, I didn't know. I really didn't know until I was in it, so
Well, here's my game plan. I want you to add to it. So we're going to get together some film for them, and I'm going to reach out to people that I know well, and I'm going to say, "Hey guys, give me your honest evaluation," because
Yep.
I've coached at different levels, Division two, Division one, but I don't do it anymore. I don't make those decisions. It's been a long time. So yes, I see guys like, "Hey, you play for you," but you're exactly right. I mean, I really don't know. So that's what I'm going to try to do, and then proceed from there. What else can I do in your opinion besides say, "Hey guys," or Coach Copeland, when are you having a run? Can my guys come down? Like, is there more that I can do for them?
Yeah, so I think making it as simple as possible for us, for the college coaches. And please, coach, every college coach, when we get together, we laugh about "he can play for you" line. So if you've ever used that, just say, "Hey, coach, I've got a guy I want you to evaluate." That'll save you a lot of grief, people snickering at you in the background. But make it as easy as possible. So if they have social media, it needs to have their cell number on their bio, it needs to have their GPA on their bio, it needs to have their high school on their bio, their needs to have their travel team on their bio. The pin thing needs to be their highlights. So highlights are good. Everybody, they get a bad rap, but like, I don't have time to evaluate your guys a full game. I will if I start really liking a guy, but like, I need a minute and a half. And like, these kids that put 7-minute highlights, that's stupid as well. No coach is going to watch 7 minutes, like a minute and a half tops. And put that pinned at the top of your thing, your highlights. And like, man, I am intrigued. All right, now his cell numbers there. "Hey, give me your high school coach's number. Give me your," and then now I'm digging in and calling their circle and, "Hey, what's this kid really about?" Because that's what ultimately determines success is, hey, what's in here? What's that kid really about? Is that kid really about winning or not? And that's the hardest part of this thing. It's easy to look at their measurables. It's easy to, man, he can shoot it, to look at his stats, but like finding what they're really about. And I think the only way you can do that is from a high school coach being very, very transparent. If you want your guys to get recruited, be extremely transparent, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because man, I get somebody and you're spot on. What happens? My trust level for Joe goes through the roof. And now, man, anytime I've got certain guys, anytime they call me on a guy, because they've never steered me wrong, I'm just like, no brainer. I'm automatically going to recruit that guy. And there's certain guys that have not been truthful or maybe withheld some truth that they'll call me and I'm just like, I don't, and it's horrible. I shouldn't be that way, but it's like, man, I don't want to ever evaluate one of his guys because like he burned me, So like, I think you being transparent and the making it easy on us. So anytime you send us info, if you're going to email us, cell phone, academic, transcripts, GPA, test scores, what's their budget? Are they willing to? Because a lot of us small college guys, we're going to partial scholarship guys. Are they willing to come out of pocket? Is he Pell Grant eligible? If he is willing to come out of pocket, what's their budget? What does he want to major in? And just simplifying this thing because time and energy and resources. If I've got to dig, what's the kid's GPA? What's his test score? What's his budget? A lot of times I'm just going to move on and go to somebody that's easier. I get 100 emails a day. I get a freaking 30 voicemails a day. X is, I mean, I have probably 400 unread messages on X and Instagram, but like, I'm not going to spend time digging on guys when I have 400 in my inbox, but the dudes that are simple, and like I have all the information there, yeah, I'm gonna watch his highlights because he's got a 3.6, I can recruit him, or hell, he's got a 2.9, I can't recruit him, I can delete him. That's a lot of times no is the second best answer you can get because you can just move on.
Mhm.
Another thing to tell your guys is like just be honest with you. You're not going to hurt our feelings. Just like a kid, right? You don't want us to slow play your guys. Like, "Hey, coach, man, I really appreciate you sending me his stuff. I need more positional length at that position, or I need a faster point guard, or he doesn't shoot it well enough." Whatever, you would appreciate that because now, all right, Abe's not an option. I can move on to these schools for my guy. It's the same for us. Man, he don't want to go to a Jesus centered, a place that's a Jesus centered environment. That's fine. Just tell me. Just be honest. Or man, he wants to go to an urban campus. Let me know. Or coach, he needs a full scholarship. And I'm like, you know what? Like, No, I'm not giving that dude a full scholarship. Let me know that as well. And that's just make it as easy as possible for us. And that's the best answer. Just take
Perfect.
all the legwork out, make it as easy as possible. And if you do that, your guys will get evaluated a lot more and at a higher level.
That's a great response. And I don't know I don't know about you, coach, but I don't know how many more 5'10" point guards that I need. So when you see the headline, it's kind of like, okay, here we go. Like, it was
Yeah.
great answer, coach. And I will say this, as far as like, I think it was a great point on the highlights. I think, the highlights, they are useful and a good minute and a half clip, because I also look on it when we're looking at transfers, college transfers, and we're looking at the JUCO route and we're able to go on Synergy. That was a game changer. Like, we're able to clip that out, find film pretty instantly, look at, how are they shooting the ball, what they're doing defensively, and we're able to get that access pretty quickly. So that was a great point. Development, coach. Going to take a little change, and you mentioned the weight room, but can you talk about, because especially the off season's coming up, we got the summer programs coming up. These guys are going to be off campus. What does development look like in your program? Because you have done such an amazing job at Ave developing young guys into really good seniors.
Yeah, great question. So, I'm fortunate. My athletic director here is a stud, man. He was a general manager for the Magic. He's been a general manager in the NHL, multiple franchises. So I pick his brain. I'm like, hey, what did you guys look for? Like, what's the separator? Because everybody's talented, And then the main separator at that level, and I've tried to use this at ours, and he calls it the Kobe suck list. So Kobe would take 2 weeks after every year, and he would have the Kobe sucks, and he would spend 2 weeks just going through his game, no matter what. When you're at that level like him, it's going to be small things. When you're younger, you're a high school kid, it's could probably be, hey, I got to shoot the three better. But Kobe, it might have been in the pinch post, passing out the pinch post with my left hand or whatever. And he came up with that Kobe sucks list. And it's the guys that are, and I know this is a big debate. Do you go all out in your strengths, or do you attack your weaknesses? And what's that percentage? But I think it's the guys that are willing to get out of their comfort zone and attack that Kobe sucks list, or that Jack sucks list, that Jay sucks list, and really, really attack that in the offseason are going to be the guys that you see the most growth from. And that's kind of where we've lived. And I know there's going to be a lot of people like, that's so stupid, just live in your strengths. But I disagree. I think life's about getting out of your comfort zone. And if I'm a spot shooter and all I do is spot shoot all summer, I'm going to become a little bit better, but maybe 1% to 2% better. But man, if I'm a spot shooter and then now this summer, I really study film, and now I'm a great off ball cutter as well. And I attack my Kobe sucks list, and I can now cut off the ball. Now I'm maybe 10% better as a player instead of just 1% to 2%. So that's kind of where we've lived, is just being really transparent. Hey, here are your strengths, here are your opportunities for growth. And then you come back and give me your Kobe sucks list. And then, all right, I'm going to hold you accountable to that. What are you doing to attack that? Another thing we do all year is like our first 30 minutes of practice, like we don't stretch. And I'm a strength conditioning guy. I love it. I've been my CSCS and I geek out over it and I love it. And every strength coach in the country is probably puking right now. I don't dynamic warm up. I don't do anything. We start slow with skills, and we're doing stationary skills, and we build up, build up, build up. And at the end of that 30 minutes, every single day, like we're moving, we're sweating. We've got a ton of shots, a ton of finishes, a ton of passes in. We play one-on-one, and that's how we develop throughout the year. And come hell or high water, like if I have 50 minutes that day because we have a game the next day for practice, no matter what, I'm cutting everything. I'm cutting shell, I'm cutting offense, I'm cutting everything. The 30 minutes for sure, I'm never cheating that. We're always going 30. The first 30 of practice is skill development. And then if I have 20 minutes left, I'm going to prioritize, what is it? Is it Florida College? We gotta somehow figure out a way to guard your dribble drive. Is it Kaiser and we gotta guard ball screen D? Is it Langston? We got to somehow, some way figure out a way to score and create space versus their man D, whatever it is. Then I'm going to prioritize that for that 20 minutes. But I am not coming off that 30 minutes ever. And I think that's how we develop.
Is it a set group of drills, or are you
So
moving
just
on?
for efficiency, speed, and I'm just calling it out. Like, I'm calling out Bill, and they're saying, Bill, boom, boom, and we're right to it. And for the most part, everything's the exact same. Now, what will change daily is like, all right, in our finishing segment, we might do circle finishing one day. We might do Barkley finishing one day. We might do post back to the basket finishing one day. Our one-on-one segment, it might be, zero dribble post up one on one. It might be full court one on one. That'll change depending on who our opponent or like we play a lot like Nova Southeastern defensively. So if we're 2 games out from a day, we're gonna be playing one on one full court. If it's a day before a game, we're probably playing one on one traditional from 3-point line or the pinch post or something like that. So that'll change. I'm trying to think what else will change. Oh, we do 2-on-1 shooting, like advantage shooting drills, and I might change up how many passes, how many dribbles they get. But for the most part, it's the same structure. And I'll just kind of tweak what the focus is in that structure. The Bill shooting, one day it might be out of shot fakes, one day it might be out of pass fakes. So yeah, just things like that.
Love it. Coach, I'm gonna circle back for a moment and talk about the Kobe sucks list. I love it. I love that concept. Now, have you got a player that made their list and you were kind of surprised by what they put on the list?
Yeah, that happens a lot, and then a lot of times I'll be like, man, because most time players know their own game better than you do,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah,
like, holy cow, like how did I miss that? And so
yeah.
I've had it both ways. Where like, man, what the hell is he thinking? And I've also had it where it's like holy cow, how did I miss that? So yeah, no doubt, you're surprised a lot of times. I think more of your own kind of looking over a flaw, and then, but a lot of times you're surprised, like, man, I don't agree with that.
So now our summers look a lot different than a high school summer. But they're with their guys over the summer, we're not. So,
Yep.
how much like are you leaning on your leadership to make sure like how are you monitoring, keeping track of guys, making sure they're staying in the gym doing what they need to do to make themselves better?
Yeah. So I love that fact of where I'm at. Our guys are from all over the country. So in the summer, they all go home. Nobody stays. We never have anybody on campus, which I think the way Division Ones have went when they have them all summer. That's why I always ask my buddies that are Division One coaches. I'm like, how do you guys keep them from being burnt out? And they're like, you
Yeah.
don't, but you just feel like you have to do it because everybody else is. But I I I almost think that's not the right way. I really like Mark Few at Gonzaga, right? Like he lets his guys go do their own thing in the summer, and that's kind of where I've leaned into is like, hey, during the year, I'm so adamant we're not shooting mid range. You're finishing 2 feet at the rim. We're going pivot game. I'm kind of even though I give you a ton of freedom, I'm kind of joysticking the shots you're going to take. So in the summer, I leave them alone, like that May, June, July. And I leave them alone, let them a lot of them have trainers, a lot of them have their own weights thing they wanna do. Like, I feel like I got them 9 months, 8 months. It's okay for them, and really, to be honest with you, probably mentally, it's probably unbelievable for them to not have to do my program or my system, and they can kinda ride the bike and experiment, and so I love that part. So I'll check in on them on their Kobe sucks list. How's it going? "Oh, yeah, my trainer," or "Man, coach, I'm working on my left hand doing this. Love it." But I'm not giving them. I used to like give them their weight program, give them their conditioning program, give them their skill. And then what happens? You just get frustrated because nobody does it anyways. Like nobody's doing your program. So it's like, man, I'm just going to encourage them. Hey, this is your bike riding time. You go have fun, hoop, grow your game, do your Kobe sucks list, but go do your own thing. And then now when you're with me those 8 months, it's on. Like we're doing my stuff, but those 4 months are for you. So that's kind of how I do it, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love where I'm at. If I ever got a Division One job, I don't know that I would have them in the summer. If I did, I think it would be one summer session max. Because I think the mental game and like our guys, for example, we're so grateful for the blessings that we get to play 40 more minutes late in the year, and we're distraught that we couldn't be together and practice another time because we're not burnt out. We're loving it.
Mhm.
We're loving each other. If I had them all summer, they're probably I'm ready to lose so I can go to spring break. Like I don't want to play another 40 minutes. And I think that's way more important than doing 5 more minutes of shell or 5 more minutes of 5-0 offense or scrimmage or whatever. Like that is to me, having dudes that want to be in the gym and want to be together, that's powerful, man. That's really powerful, and that's way more powerful than you might know one more set that we run than I know that you run, or you might have done 5 more minutes of shell. You can have it. I want a team that wants to be in the gym, is excited to be in the gym, and I'll take that team any day of the week.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, my guys, I'm trying to kick them out right now. Like, we finished a few weeks ago, and I'm trying to kick them out, but they're in there, but I'm trying not to be. I don't wanna be in there, and reintroduce myself to my family, but that's a great answer, coach. We're gonna segue. This has been really, really good. We're gonna segue. Coach Teeden has come up, with some quick hitters that you're gonna have to kinda first thing that comes to mind, you're gonna have to put it out there. Don't worry. It's not gonna I don't think you obviously aren't worried about what other people think because you'll tell everybody everything. So,
And we appreciate that.
Coach Teeden, take it away.
Yeah, so we're gonna go NAIA, some quick hitters, and the great thing about you, coach, and you hit it earlier, is that you've coached at every level. And a cool backstory, and I didn't get a chance to talk about it, but you even went into high school, you had a little in between high school moment for yourself. Was it one season, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I started right out of college. I was a high school coach for a year, and then I was at UT Tyler, and we got a new president. New president, everybody knows what comes with that. I got fired. Got
Yeah.
fired. And at that point, I was like, man, you know what? Screw this. I want to coach my kids. This is screw college. So I coached at Alito High School, where your boss coached. He
Yeah.
was a couple coaches after me. I was there a year, and about God bless you guys. You guys are saints. But about 2 weeks into the classroom, I told my wife, I said, I don't care. No matter what happens next year, I will be a garbage man delivering my freaking headphones in, listen to a podcast, listen to music, and I'll be in the sun sweating, dumping trash before I teach history again for a kid that doesn't give a crap about history and just rolling his eyes at me. I loved high school coaching. It got my juices going, same as college. Like, I could coach elementary, get my juices going, but like the teaching, something that if they're not passionate about it, I feel like a phony and I can't do it. So, yes, 1 year, and it was a miserable year, and I was going to be a garbage man the next year if I didn't get a job. So,
I love that. So you've been around the block at every level. So we're going to talk about NAIA specifically. So, all right, first one, biggest misconception about NAIA basketball.
yeah, that it's not. I think a lot of people, especially certain parts of the country, they've never heard of it, like the Northeast, right? There's no NAIs in the Northeast, and they've never heard of it, and they just think it's they don't even know what it is, and just that it's not super high level basketball. Like, you look, um, Chase Harris, player of the year in the Sun Belt, right? He was at Life last year and player of the year in the Sun Belt. Out of our league, Riley Mannix goes to the OVC player of the year. Like, it is high level basketball, and you're all conference guys in every league are all Division I guys. Whether they go Division I or not, they're Division I guys. And it's like, if you go watch college basketball, like, and I think that's the beautiful thing about me and my background, like, man, to play college basketball, you got to be a dude. There is like Division III incredible coaches, incredible players, like the most skilled level. It's the hardest level to scheme and guard against because you have 5 dudes on every team that can dribble, pass, and shoot, high IQ. And it's like, yeah, that's not high level basketball. NAI is super high level basketball, great coaches, great players. And you got to go watch it to see it.
No doubt. Toughest environment you played in.
Whew, man, great question. You know what? I would say Florida National at Bucky Dent. So, not because of the crowd, but you don't know
Yeah.
what your table crew is gonna do. You don't know what the officials are gonna do. You don't know where your locker room is. That's a
Yeah.
hard environment. I've
Well,
actually never won there. I refuse to play there ever again because I've never
well, yeah,
won
we
there.
are. Joe, our locker room was a closet behind the bench, so I think there was maybe a sewage spill too. I don't know. That was
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, that's a
Wow.
tough environment. Okay, all right. Playing a tough conference. You know, there's a lot of good players in the conference. Who's the toughest player you've played against this season here?
This past season or just overall in
Yeah,
the
this
NAIA?
this past season. Yep.
Okay. The toughest player we went against, I would say Cameron James from Kaiser. He was a load. Would you let him get downhill and don't show him bodies? Like, good luck. You let him get out in transition and low to the ball, good luck. He had 18 on UConn last year when he was at East Texas A&M. So that
Yeah,
tells you how good he is.
Wow.
tough player. All right, last one. This can be throughout, but toughest coach you competed against.
Yeah. Oh man. I would say Chief at Kaiser just because it just feels like every year it's us and them down to the wire every year. His teams are always so tough. They guard you so hard. They're so physical. They just beat you up on the glass, and you just know every time you play Kaiser, you're in for a war.
All
Love
right, you're off
love
the
us
hot
some
seat,
Chief.
coach. Good job,
Love
man.
us some
Yeah,
Chief.
great guy, man. And really, the Sun Conference, like for all you high school coaches, like every coach is an incredible dude. Like I would send my sons to go play for any of them. They're all awesome.
I'm pretty proud. I'm a Florida Sun Conference champion back in
Are you really? Where'd you play at?
1990. I played 1 year at Weber
Yeah, there you go.
back when it was a college, not an international university.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won. We went up to Flagler and beat. I want to say we beat Nova in the championship, and then went to the metropolis of Nampa, Idaho, and
College Idaho.
Nampa. I don't know what I couldn't. I was so young. I didn't even know what college was there. I just
Oh, okay, gotcha.
we
That's
went
so
there,
funny.
played in the national tournament, and that was crazy. But Coach, you've been awesome. One last thing, what are you doing to get better as a coach or a teacher?
Yeah, I wish I was doing a lot right now. Right now, to be honest with you and transparent, like it's just recruiting, and that's where my whole mind is. This summer, once I sign our class, then what I really do is I dive in, and I'll dive into programs that whatever it is that I'm trying my Jamon sucks list, right? That I'm trying to dive in. Like say, I think my baseline out of bounds sucked, and I'm gonna go on Synergy and find out who's the best baseline out of bounds program in the country, and it could be Division III, NYU. It could be a USCAA, and I don't care. And I'm going to deep dive into that, into my Jamon sucks list, and that's how I do my growth in the summer. I love going to practices. I've probably been to 100 different college practices, 10, 15 different NBA practices. Love doing that as well, and I love just talking ball like we are with coaches. So I'll do all those things, but I won't spend any time on myself till I get our class done. It freaks me out. I get too much anxiety if I do anything other than that.
Makes sense. Coach, thanks so much, man. We look forward to sharing this, and we appreciate your time, especially when you are really trying to get your recruiting done.
Well, thanks, guys. Really enjoyed it.